So hello everyone, glad that you all are here, and I'm very glad to have you all here on Sunday, which is weekend, and instead of chilling out, you are here to learn something new from Somya. So first of all, I would like to welcome you all. This is Introduction to UI UX Design by Sowmiya V, and this is organized by Hack Club Tech Brewers, which is a community which aims to bring intake to all the people irrespective of their field of study or irrespective of their domain and all other things. We are focusing on building and learn, build, and connect. These are the three main pillars that we are mainly focusing on. And we want all the people to start getting involved into the communities, learn from each other, and at the same time share your learnings with other folks. So, without any further ado, I will just quickly introduce Somya. So, Somya is a working as a full-time developer. She's passionate about UI UX design and has mentored or given talks for about 250 plus mentees, which is a big number. She is a Google crowdsource influencer, silver tire, IAMS remarkable facilitator. She has been awarded Girl Script Foundation 21 under 21 for the recognition of her efforts towards creating a meaningful impact in the society. And all these achievements are really great thing. So I will, without any further ado, I will just hand over the virtual stage to Somya.
Yeah, thank you so much, Monak, for the awesome introduction. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in today's UI UX workshop on Introduction to UI UX. I'm Soumya Meditation. I'm a full stack developer and a designer. I have mentored around 250 plus students based on 100 days of UI UX design with the Uplift project of Girl Script Organization and 10 days bootcamp for education outreach of Girl Script Organization and gave UI UX talks to some students communities. And yes, I also started blogging about the important topics of UI UX, which will be useful for designer who are starting in UI UX. So yes, I'll provide my social links in the team. So team will be sharing with to you. So yes, before further ado, let me just share my screen. So yes, welcome everyone for the session today, Introduction to UI UX with Soumya. So today's agenda will be we will be speaking about what is UI UX and difference between them, and what is design thinking process in UI UX, and then we will be talking about what are the UI UX tools available out there and which is the best for beginners, and we will be uh, going with the bonus tip at the end of this session, and we will be getting into our Q&A, right? So yes, before starting, we'll uh, see on what this design. All right. If you have any idea, like whatever it is coming to you, put it on the chat box. Like according to you, what is design? All right, that is cool. So yes, design is a process to transform user requirements into some suitable form by developing an idea or a concept to create things to solve the problem. Right? And we do have many designs, but today we are going to see about our user experience design and the user interface design. So next, what is UI and UX? So user interface, that is UI, is the means by which user interacts with the product, which includes color schemes, buttons, images, and other design elements that allow people to interact with your product. Whereas user experience is the overall experience of a user with a company product or brand or service. It includes the ease of use, efficiency, and overall satisfaction with the user interface. Say, for example, let us take the ketchup glass bottle. I hope you might have seen this kind of memes in the social media platforms. But yeah, this is really a basic example of UI UX. Like, as many of us have experienced, like getting a ketchup out of a glass bottle is definitely one way to give the biceps a workout. We need to turn the bottle upside down and hold it on our hand, and then we have to vigorously bang the end of it with the other hand to get the ketchup out onto the plate. And this is really a crazy thing, is we can determine like how much amount of ketchup gonna came out. Is that enough or large amount, or again we need to take the exercise to get some more, right? So yes, this is really an example of a bad UX, because it is really a downstride and it is really frustrating. So then only they came up with the is that squid bottle made out of the soft plastic with a conical nozzle. It was much lighter for everyone to hold, especially kids, and the ketchup came out with a much less effort. So yes, it is an example of a good UX and the delightful UX. So yes, you might be seeing the thing like this is what the example of UX. And if you are seeing about the UI, so UI is about how the bottle shape is and what is the color of the bottle and what is the logo of the bottle. So these terms will be get into the picture of our UI. All right. So yes, the next topic is about the 7 factors that influences user experience as good user experience. The first one is findable. Your product or any app which you are designing or developing, it should be easy to find out. Say, for example, if I'm saying any video channel, you will be getting something flashing in your mind like YouTube, Netflix, Amazon, those kind of stuff, right? So your product should be findable. The second one is usable. It should be easy to use. Like, people should move to next screens without any obstacle or without knowing it. It should be easy to them. Like, this is about making sure that the user can understand how to use the product. It is about putting yourself in the shoes of your users and thinking about how they might interact with your product and how they can use it in an ease of use. The third one is accessible. It should be easy to access. It should work equally well on all devices, including mobile ones or laptop or TV. It can be anything. And the fourth one is valuable. The product deliver value to business, which creates it, and to the user who buys or uses it. The fourth sorry. The sixth one is enabling users to effectively and efficiently achieve their end objective with a product, that is, it should be useful for them. And the seventh one is it should be desirable. Like, the more likely it is that the user who has it will brag about it and create desire in other users. All right. So yes, the next topic is about difference between UX and UI. So UX design is specifically for the needs of the user or customer and how the user interacts with your product and how it makes them feel. Whereas UI is the process where designers works on the interface system, focusing on looks and interactions, which includes colors, themes, buttons, images, and other design elements that allow people to interact with your product. I can say an example by taking this YouTube itself. Like, in YouTube, you are seeing the YouTube logo, and it is an user interface element. Like, it will be acting as a button. If you click on it, it will go to the home screen, right? And your play buttons, play pass, and then the mute and mute button, and then you do have the slider, and also you do have captions. So those kind of buttons are there, and you do have some of the videos, thumbnail images on your right hand sides. So these kind of stuffs are your user interface elements, right? And where the user experience will come is like, if you are touching that play button or a pause button. So as of now it will be like a play button. If you click on the pause button, your screen will freeze, right? And then when you click on the play button again, then only the video will resume, like even our live session, right? So this is how you are experiencing with your user interface element. So this is how your user interface will work for your user experience. All right. So yes, before getting into our design thinking process in UX, we'll get to know, is there any demand for UI designers or not? Yes, of course, like it is. As many company and organizers begin to recognize just how important great ideas and designs is to success of their site, app, service or product, the demand of for skilled UX designer will only increase, right? And even I hope many of you all here are students, so you might be contributing some open source contributions, right? So if you are doing some open source contributions mainly for some applications or website related stuff, you will be able to see an issue or any kind of stuff. It will be focusing on the design stuff, because design is the core part, and by the designs only you will be start developing your codes to match that design, right? So yes, it won't die until if there is no product development process cycle is exist. All right. So yes, the next major topic is design thinking processing UX. All right. So the main idea of design process is, it is to define every designer's journey to solve the problem and bring out the solution. Like in the slide which you are viewing right now, on the left hand side you have a man who is so holding a big giant of rock, and in your right side you are able to see a truck which is holding a lot of goods, right? So this is what the design thinking process is. Like at the ancient time, we do not have any vehicle or something, so we used to hold all the stuff in our bag, even this a huge weight, right? And we used to think about it like how we can solve it to move the heavy weights from one place to another. Then only we came to the design thinking process, like we are getting into the three wheelers, four wheelers, and we get into the big thing, right? So yeah, this is how we have to solve the problem by bringing out the great solution to solve our problem. All right. So yes, design thinking process in UX. It is a design methodology that provides a solution-based approach to solving the problem. This process includes empathize, define, ideate, design, and test. So there are four major processes it includes. So we'll go with one by one. So in phase one, that is empathize, it is the first stage of design process to gain an empathetic understanding of the problem you are trying to solve. Mostly it will be done through research works to understand the problem and expected solution, and it can be done in one-on-one interview and focus groups and surveys and usability testing. So how the research process will work here is like, there are four types of research process, like quantitative research, qualitative, primary, and secondary. We'll go with one by one. So quantitative research is defined as a systematic investigation of phenomena by gathering quantifiable data and performing statistical, mathematical, or computational techniques. In simple terms, I can say like you might have used Google Analytics or Say for example, you might have using bitly accounts for getting your short links, right? So if you haven't seen the statistics or your how much reach your links want, so try to go there and check it out. It will give you some of the statistics on how many clicks were there, how many people reach your links, and where the people are from. So it will give all the data in the stuff. So this is the great example for the quantitative research. And the second one is qualitative research. So qualitative research can be used to understand how an individual subjectively perceives and give meaning to their social reality. Like if you are having one-on-one interview with your user means you can able to get to know about their feelings, face emotions, and their opinion. And the third one is primary research. Primary research again it just refers to that has involved the collection of original data specific to particular project. Working from scratch, like say for example, if you have if you are working on an existing app or a website, you will be having the data earlier, right? Say, for example, if you're taking some of the app or website from a Play Store, you will be having all the feedbacks in the Play Store itself, right? So you can take there itself. So this is what the primary research is about. And the secondary research, it involves the summary or synthesis of data and literature that has been organized and published by others. So, for example, a redesign team will start working by the data which is on Play Store review user listings. And yes, you need to have many people of you research works. Try to have your target users about 3 to 5. It will save your time and typically it will gives you much data to move to the next process. All right, and yes, the phase two is about define. From the data which we got through research work, with it to define their needs towards the product. This can be done through user persona, where people will pinpoint their goals and pain points. If it is wider view, means then we will go to user journey map to move to the next process. So yes, this is how user persona will looks like. All right. So persona is not the same as target user. Persona is a semi-fictional character based on current customer. We can build it from primary research based on the collected data from one-on-one interviews. So why we need is like to grow and improve the ideas in different ways to process the design. It includes we use a persona for to understand the user's goals in specific context that is useful during ideathons. Uh, so yes, this is how it will looks like. You can include their photos and their name, age, occupations, location. Like what are the primary things which is available? You can just add it on the user persona. And in empathy map, we will be dividing them into how the user is think, see, hear, say, and do. So how we can fill this like we can fill this by determining the target audience. We can do our research work through forms or any other data collection, tech support to get their reviews to solve the problem. Like in the think phase, we are having what really matters to him or her, what occupies his or her thinking, what worries does she or he have. And in C, we do have like what are the factors that influences him or her, what brands he or she is seeing about, and what does he or she sees from their friends. And in the here phase, like we will be researching on what our family and friends saying that impacts his or her thinking. And in say and do phase, we will be researching on what does he or she do on public, and how his or her behaviors change after that. So yes, in user journey map, we will be doing this for wide user, and user persona is for small users. All right. So yes, user journey map. It will be useful for researching what is the user trying to accomplish, what is the problem to be solved, like what are the actions are they currently taking, how are they doing it, and what information are they seeking. And we can do it by three things like stage goal, goals signals, and the goals matrices. So stage goal is like what we want to solve with this for our consumers, and the goal signals is factors that will signify success or failure upon our different goals. And the goal matrices is matrices translate your signals into measurable data over time. All right. So yes, our phase three is about ideate. So ideation is a creative process where designers generate ideas in sessions. Like example, brainstorming, worst possible idea. So these are the things mainly to produce as many ideas as they can to address a problem statement in a facilitator judgment-free environment. It can be done through brainstorming, mind mapping, code sorting, and information architecture. We'll move on one by one. The first one is user flow. So user flow, I hope many of you knew about this. So there are basically three types of user flows are available out there. One is task flow, and the second one is classic user flow, and the third one is wire flow. Task flow will be focusing on a single task. For example, if you are designing a landing page, then it will be only a page, right? So the task flow will be focused only on one task. And the second one is classic user flow. Classic user flow will be focusing on the multiple tasks or whole app or entire solution. Let me take an example of your e-commerce website. So e-commerce website will be having like home and what are the products are available and how much it is. Like there will be multiple screens. So you will be creating an user flow for the entire app or an website, right? So yes, this is an example of classic user flow. And the third one is your wire flow. It can be used by wireframes. We'll get to know in our design phase later. All right. Yes. In a chord sorting, participants will be organizing their topics into categories that make sense to them. This method used to evaluate the information architecture of a site. Let's say if we are creating an e-commerce website, then we will be segregating like what are the products which will be available on our e-commerce website. Say for example, if I'm taking like fruits, if it is a major category, then we will be segregating like what are the types of fruits will be available, like apple, banana, guava, or pineapple. So those kind of stuff we will be listing out over here. And like the second one, like if we are taking vegetables, and again we will be listing out all the vegetables which will be available on our website or which we have in demand. And yeah, so this is how it will be going on with the card sorting. And in informative architecture, we will be create for organizing and label the content to be easily understood by users and ensure it is usability and findability. Like say for example, if I have the sign in button, like if I am getting into the home screen, I will be having either sign in or sign up. All right. And if I get into the sign in option, then I will be getting into my home screen, right? In the home screen, I'll be again having the home button and the product button and a card button. So those are the things will be available. So this is how the information architecture will works. All right. And yes, in phase 4 it is design phase, and in some designers they will also call it as the implementation phase. All right, so this is an experimental phase, and the aim is to identify the best possible solution for each of the problems identified during the first three stages. And even we can call it as visual communication to view our ideas from sketching to prototype. Like in your left side, which you are saying is like low-fi wireframe, which is low fidelity wireframe, which can be designed using your pen and paper itself. And if I'm calling it as high fidelity wireframe means then I'll be using my visual screens and pens for creating them. Alright, so yes, wireframe serves as a skeleton of your digital product. By in simple terms, you can call it as sketching. And when it comes to the design, so design will be like your whole visual design, like how it will looks, right? Or the prototype, like if I click on the splash screen, like how it goes to the home screen and then how it goes throughout, right? So prototypes are a more visual representation of your product. All right. And if you are calling it as implementation phase, then this design will go to the developer hand and the developer will start coding it, and they will be giving you the end product, and then that coded website will be getting to your testing phase. And even without implementation phase, we do have design phase. So yes, it will get into our testing phase. So testing phase involves generating user feedback as related to the prototype you have developed or the coding website which you have developed. So yes, it will be a tool for getting a deeper understanding of your users. Like we will be getting their feedbacks. Say for example, if I'm working on a problem statement like the e-commerce website itself, I'll be getting some feedbacks like these are the changes I have to do on my next update, and I'll be getting some learning. Okay, so I have to update these kind of stuff to make it more efficient, and also I'll be learning about what are the future concepts I can use for my further update like 2.0 or 3.0 versions. All right, so yes, let me check out. All right, so we'll have a quick recap of our UX process. So design thinking is a design methodology that provides a solution-based approach to solve the problems. This process includes empathize, define, ideate, design, and test. So empathize, it is understanding everything about your user. Define, come up with the ideas based on understanding and define the problem, and also define the solution for it, and ideate, brainstorm and list down creative ideas to solve the problem. And the fourth one is design phase, finalize the design with right solution to the problem. And the fifth one is test phase, evaluate the design whether it is useful to sort out the problem or not. And the important point is UX process or design thinking process. It is a non-linear process because if you are lag at some phase, like say for example, I have understand my user, but I was not able to define my idea means define the problem means then I have to go to the empathize stage again to understand the user even deeper. And this the same thing for ideate. If I'm not able to get the proper solution or the idea for solving the problem, again I have to get into the define phase and I have to check on like what is the actual problem of the user. Then again, if I'm not able to get it, then again I'm going to the empathize phase to understand the user, what they are actually facing in their problem. And yes, the fourth is about the design phase. So if I'm not able to get into the proper design, like finalized design, then I have to get into the first three steps again to check how I can come up with the finalized design. And yes, obviously in the test phase, we will be getting some feedbacks. It will be both positive and negative. So yes, we will be taking the negative feedbacks and we will be trying to solve that, right? So this is how it will works. So this is what we are calling it as product development process. So this is what the thing. So you are UX UI designer if you are want to become. So you can just if you are really want it, you can just go ahead with it because it is not gonna die until this design development process gets over. All right. So yes, the next major topic is what are the UX UI design tools available out there. So in picture you are seeing like the first one is Figma, and the second one is Sketch, which is in a diamond shape, and the third one is Adobe XD. Okay, so we do have many tools like say for example UI design tools or these Figma, Sketch and Adobe XD. And when it comes to prototype, you can take it like InVision, even the Figma and Adobe XD. And in whiteboarding, you do have FigJam and Miro. And in user flows, you do have the tools like Whimsical, Miro, FigJam. So there are many design tools available out there. But being a beginner, I hope many of you are here as beginner because you are watching this introduction to UI UX design session. So yeah, many of you are beginner right over here. So I'll tell you, I would suggest you to go with Figma. I'll tell you like why I'm saying or I'm suggesting you to Figma because Sketch is an application which is available only on Mac Pro. If you have Mac Pro, then yes, obviously you can go with it. But if you are a Windows user, then you do have option left out is Figma and Adobe XD. And Sketch is also a paid software, I guess. So yes, if you are a Windows user, then I would prefer you to go to either Figma or XT. And if you are asking me like what is the difference between the Figma and Adobe XT, like why I should go to Figma means Adobe XT is an software which is available on both Mac Pro and the Windows software. uh, I'm sorry, Windows. And yeah, the major thing is it is free software. You can download it from Adobe Cloud itself. And the major problem over here is Adobe XD will be having some of the restrictions that you can't able to share the or like you can't able to share your design works to the team. When it comes to the collaboration with teams, the Adobe XD lags. But in the case of Figma, Figma is available in all the platforms. Like you can able to use it in web-based software itself, and you can also download the software and you can use it in all the Windows, Mac Pro OS, and also you can use Figma in your mobile itself. So yes, it is really comfortable, and yes, you do also have the option of sending your design links to various teams. But in Adobe XD, you will be having restrictions like if you are selecting a option like say for example if I'm selecting for a design review means then I can able to send it to design review team only. I can't able to send it to development or prototype team. If I want to send it, then again I have to change it manually. All right. It is time taking process, but when it comes to Figma, you can share the single link to everyone, and it will be easy for them to comment your in your design system, and it won't affect anything on your design screen or a Canva. And with respect to Figma, you will be having a clear layout like how you can use the menus which is available over there. But in Adobe, it feels like something complex, and also your screen will be somewhat smaller than the Figma. Uh, so yes, here comes we are getting into our bonus tip for our session. So yes, the major thing which you are looking over here is how you can start working as a becoming as UX UI designer, right? So the first thing which I would suggest you is joining some UX or UI design bootcamp or 7 days UX UI design course which is available out there, and check whether UX UI design is right fit for you. Do you really need it at this time? Or you can research within you, like is this the right fit for you and whether you can go with it for your career options. All right, if it is really works for you, like whether if you are able to understand the concepts, if you are able to make your user case study and your portfolio, then you can you do have two options. One is you can enroll in some certification course, that is your Google UX UI design course, and there is like IXT is providing some certification course. Also, there are many giant companies which is providing some certification course. And if you want to know about the certification course which is available, you can get it from my Medium. Uh, like I'll share you my Medium link in the comment box. Our team will be sharing it to you. So yes, you can check on that. All right. So you can enroll in the certification course if you are a self-taught designer. Like, because if it is certification course, you will be getting some pre-recorded videos and the assignments. So it will be somewhat boring. But still, if you prefer that, you can go with that. If it is not, then you can join in some design school or online mentor platforms like ADP List or those sort of things. Even in this, like you will be able to you have to pay them, because when it is come to design school, then it is about the paying stuff. But in the certification course, you will be having the both option. Like there are some courses which is available free, and there are some courses which is available for paid. And even Google UX course is a paid course only. But yes, you can apply it with the financial aid, uh, which yes, it will come with the free course, obviously. So yeah, you do have these options. If these two options are not working for you, then yes, you can be a self-taught designer. Like you can able to become a self-taught designer. Even I have provided a blog on it in my Medium channel. It is available. You can check on it on all these three things. All right. So yeah, if you want to become as a self-taught designer, I would recommend you to first learn the tool, because if you learn the tool, if you learn the design tool, and then if you get into the UX UI design principles, laws, and the design process, it will be useful for you to work simultaneously with your design tools. So it will be really helpful for you to learn something even more faster or better stuff with the clear understanding the things. All right. So yes, you can become a self-taught designer, and yes, how you can implement these stuff, like you can start building your UX case study. Like say for example, you can join in some hackathons or any of your friends companies, and you can build some websites. Like you can actually design the websites for them, or else you can actually join in some design hackathon where they will be giving some problem statement and you can solve it within 2 to 3 days. And other than this, you can just get into some internships or any freelancing stuff. And also your open source, if you go into the GitHub, and if you are searching for the issue with the Figma or design or UX UI, you will be able to find many issues which is already available. Or else you can also go to some repositories. If you find any UX UI delay over there, you can also contribute over there. This is how designers are working in the open source. So yes, I hope this session is helpful for you. You got to understand how UI actually works and what it is difference between them, and then the UX design process, and then what are the tools available and what you can work on it, and yes, how you can start with the UX UI designer. So yes, thank you so much everyone for joining in and tuning in till the end. So yes, stay connected as community, and here are my links. You can actually connect with me on Twitter, Instagram, or LinkedIn. So yes, if you have any question or answer, I'm sorry, questions, you can just put it in the comment box so that we can get those stuff. Runant, do you have any feedback link?
So we haven't yet created any feedback link. Actually, once the session is over, they will be receiving an automated feedback in their mails, and they can submit their feedback there itself.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So yes, if if you have any questions, you can put it on the comment box. Yeah, for suggesting any YouTube channels for Figma, I would suggest you to go with Figma official channel itself, because Figma official channel itself is giving you all the things like how to use the design tools and what are the updates available till now. They will be giving you all the videos out there. You can just go to YouTube and check for Figma thing. So you can able to find the Figma channel itself. You can refer all the videos out there. It would be really helpful for you. Can we get the link for open source where we can actually? All right. So you can go to my Medium, Medium link, and you can able to find a blog on blog on how to contribute to open source project as a designer. You can refer all the points over there, like how you can actually contribute to it. Can any other question?
I think we don't have any more questions, but still, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to put those out in the comments, or you can reach out to Soumya on her socials and feel free to get your doubts cleared. So thank you so much, Soumya, for the wonderful session on UI UX design. I also got to learn a lot of new things. Especially, I like the ketchup thing that you explained. It was very easy and relatable to actually understand the principle understanding and how we can get started. Especially, thanks for sharing the resources. I always wondered how the UI UX people were contributing to open source actually, and you shared that there are some issues present on Figma related to Figma on GitHub. So you can just search for them and contribute to those. So a lot of people are loving the sessions. And also I would like to request all of you, if you haven't yet registered or if you aren't a member of Hacklup Tech Brewers, you can just simply click on the link that or click on the form I have shared in the comments, and you can feel free to register for the club. Also, all the links for Hacklup Tech Brewers and Somya's socials are present in the description. So make sure that you follow us and Somya as well on socials. So if you don't have any doubts, we can just wind up the session. Cool. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining. Have a great day. Have a great Sunday indeed.
Yeah, thank you so much everyone for listening till now. Thank you, Pranab, for organizing this and inviting me to speak on.
Thank you. It was great.